Hello Internet! Surprise! Welcome back. Bazzle Spot Lifetime. We've just had the Harrogate Regional, which is going to be Europe's last Sun Series tournament. I don't even think in the UK we've got any Premier Challenges or mid-season showdowns now. So on the 8th of January, my birthday, we'll move over into the Moon format. And so people will start putting Z moves on their Sun Series teams, basically, what I imagine. But yeah, the Harrogate Regional didn't go very well for me at all, which is unfortunate because I did feel quite nice going into the tournament with this team. It's fun, it's interesting. I feel like it works quite well. There are some things that it does struggle against, but I did get very unlucky in some of my games, and like very, very unlucky. And it's it's annoying to even say that because it's just the go-to excuses. Oh, I got unlucky, but yeah, I did get very unlucky in some games. So whatever, but hopefully my capture card will still working. I say that every time, don't I? But my capture card is really the main reason why I've stopped kind of uploading, just because my capture card is giving me a massive hassle to actually get anything recorded with. But hello, Taji from Japan. With this is an interesting team. That is an interesting team. But yeah, hopefully I can show you what this team is supposed to do, how it works, and actually record a video. So, if you're watching this, if you're listening to it, then good. It stayed working for the next 20-30 minutes. But yeah, we've got to sort of figure out what we do here. He's got Tailwind potential on 2 Pokemon, Trick Room potential on 2 Pokemon. Trick Room is almost fatal to this team, I feel. I've got Amoonguss though, but Stack Attacker tend to have the goggles on them. He's got the potential for beat up and the Justified with his Terrakion. But I need to deny Trick Room. He hasn't got any fake out users, so I'm going to lead with Superior. And Superior is good against the Terrakion as well, so I can't see him leading with a Terrakion, actually. He's probably going to lead with the Reshiram, maybe. In which case, I go with Yveltal. Yeah, let's go with Superior and Yveltal. As I'm very careful to touch my DS. Also, the capture card will literally just stop working. And I'm actually going to go with Blaziken in this battle. Just because Blaziken doesn't really come very often. And so, if I'm going to try and record some videos. If this one goes out, fantastic. If there's nothing more after this, then I'm sorry, my capture card has literally just stopped working. But I'm going to try and record, some for this week, just to show off the team. But yeah, Blaziken doesn't come that often. So this is a team where maybe Blaziken might be able to do something. So let's see. But Superior Yveltal, yeah, Boyd has got me using both of these Pokemon. I do really like it. Or them, I should say. Never really used Yveltal, even in 16. Until this team. But I'm looking out for the abilities and the items. So, no Psychic Seed on Tapu Lele, which is good. Superior is faster than Terrakion, which is good. Knockoff should knock out Lele, unless it's Focus Sassed, which is good. I remember in VGC 15, at the first UK regional in Sutton Coldfield, I think I played either 1 or 2 Superior, which was like, never seen, in VGC. But because I was using Terrakion and it was such a big part of the team, it was, it survived. It was such a pain for me. Oh, it's actually Stone Edge instead of Rock Slide. Wow, okay. Is this Focus Sash? No, it just survives. There's Choice Specs. Wow, okay. Well, there's all my calculations out the window. Did not expect that. Would Yveltal have survived the Stone Edge from Terrakion? That's an interesting one. So I'm just going to leaf storm the Terrakion again, and in case the Tapu Lele switches out, I'm just going to knock off again. It doesn't really matter what I do, as long as it's not Sucker Punch, obviously. But yeah, this is where I'm going to get my luck, isn't it? Yeah, it's just forfeited turn 1. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you've won the game. But yeah, no, yesterday, this is Sunday as I'm recording this, the Harrogate Regional, yeah, not a very happy time. But oh well, it happens, unfortunately. You know, a Premier Challenge or whatever, if you get unlucky, then fair enough, you've missed out on, what, a few points. If it happens at a regional, you've missed out on a decent chunk of points. But, oh well, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going for my day 2 invite this year. I just want day 1, so 300 points on my goal. I've got a top 4 and a top 4 in 2 Premier Challenges, and I've got a top 4 and a first place in a mid-season showdown. The mid-season showdown I won actually was with this team, but this guy has got a decent rating, over 1,600. I'm going to say decent because I doubt there's many people actually playing on BattleSpot right now, so, you know, so the fact that he's persevered and got up that high is quite impressive. But, ooh, this is, I mean, it's a QR code team. I should know it, but I don't. Okay, so I'm going to lead with Raichu and Yveltal, and then I'm going to explain why. I definitely want Xerneas as well. And I think we want Superior in the back as well, too. Or Amoonguss is alright here, even though he has got the Coco. But yeah, I think I'll go with Superior. My reasoning is because with Raichu and Yveltal, I have got Electro Web on my Raichu, so if he leads Lunala and Kyogre, which is a pretty common lead with this, I can Electro Web and knock out the Yveltal, even if it has got an Electric Seed boost, which they tend to have if they lead with the Coco as well too. Yveltal is pretty good, and Raichu is pretty good against the Kyogre as well too. But if he leads with a Stack Attacker, which is my other big worry, I've got Taunt on Superior, but I'm not going with that. If he does go with the type of Coco, a combination of Foul Play and Thunderbolt in electric terrain should knock the Stack Attacker out. So if he does lead with Stack Attacker and it's not paired with Tapu Koko, I think that's probably the worst case scenario. Maybe a really passive sort of Amoonguss Stack Attacker lead would be the worst case scenario for me here. But I'm expecting either Lunala Kyogre or Lunala Koko. Lunala Amoonguss. Oh dear. Okay, so Amoonguss is one of the biggest threats for this team. He could just double protect here. Well, I'm going to fake out into the Amoonguss. And the problem is, well, the only way Lunala, unless it's really bulky, is going to survive this knockoff is if he switches the Amoonguss into his Tapu Koko and activates his Electric Seed. If he does that, then he's giving me the electric terrain. I just don't want him to Tailwind or Trick Room with his Lunala, but it is. I don't think there's any way really that I can stop that. Actually, he's not protecting anything here, so maybe he's just confident that he can take this knockoff. And he can with the Colbur Berry, so that does make sense. And it's probably going to be a Trick Room, because he's got the Amoonguss there. Yep, there we go. Okay, so, yeah, this is pretty much worst case scenario. And we didn't bring the Amoonguss, did we? Oh dear. Okay. So I could Sucker Punch the Lunala, but he could Rage Powder. But if you're in this position, do you not just Spore here? We've got Xerneas and Superior. Yeah, so Amoonguss is one of the biggest issues for this team. It really is. I'm thinking about maybe swapping Blaziken for Talonflame, maybe. But yeah, this is bad now. This is very bad. I think I'm just going to Thunderbolt into the Amoonguss and protect. I think I should have Encored the Amoonguss here. But any damage on the Amoonguss is good. Yeah, if I'd Encored that Spore, then he doesn't have the option to Rage Powder next turn. But at the same time, if I do just Sucker Punch, successful or not, then I will have a guaranteed Turn to Sleep the next turn as well. So, yeah. That was an extra 10% on the Amoonguss. Congratulations, Barry. Well done. So he has to Spore into the Yveltal, doesn't he? So now I am going to Warm Core the Amoonguss, and I'm going to Sucker Punch the Lunala. So there's no Rage Powder, so it is a Sport, and I will have my guaranteed turn next turn. But Yveltal kind of done half of its job by knocking out Lunala. And we know now that this Amoonguss can't do anything but Spore, so my Superior, if he brings in the Kyogre, which I am expecting him to here, the Superior is a decent switch in, but do I want to just switch it in like that? Because maybe it's not going to take 2 Specs Water Spouts especially. So I think I sacrifice Raichu here, or does he have Coco in the back? I mean, it could be Stack Attack, it could be Incineroar, all 3 are decent options. But I'm going to think maybe he hasn't got Coco. Maybe the Raichu on Team Preview put him off. Bring in the Coco. So, I'm just going to try and Thunderbolt into the Kyogre here. Yveltal, do I switch it into anything? I don't think so. No, I think I'm just going to use his Trick Room turns, just sit in here and see how much damage this Kyogre does to it. It is Stack Attacker. Ooh. Okay. And that is a Water Spout. So Yveltal survives, and we can wake up this next turn. But, yeah, this got tricky. Well, this got tricky as soon as he got Trick Room up. Ha ha ha. Yeah, so big problems for this team are things like, I suppose you could say Colbur Berry, Lunala, or Mental Herb Lunala, and Mental Herb Necrozma, which is rarely seen, but they do exist. They definitely do exist. But yeah, last turn of Trick Room, so I'm just going to protect the Superior here. And Yveltal, do I need it to wake up here for the damage on Stack Attacker? Maybe I do. We'll try and protect. Because if Yveltal goes down, we've got Xerneas in the back. Okay, so we'll woke up. We've got Xerneas in the back, and I don't think a Moonblast and Leaf Storm are going to be knocking out this Stack Attacker, definitely not. So, yep, Gyro Ball and Water Spout. This Kyogre might be Specs, but we really can't. We can't let him get Trick Room up again. So I'm going to taunt the Stack Attacker, and I'm going to knock off the Kyogre. If this is Mental Herb Stack Attacker, I'm just going to... I'm just going to go mad. But it's protecting the Kyogre. If you are Mental Herb Stack Attacker, this is like just the worst case scenario. No, okay. So yeah, I wanted to double into that Stack Attacker with a Foul Play and Leaf Storm, but I wasn't sure if it would knock it out. We do know that he's got... What was it in the back? It was Amoonguss. It was Amoonguss in the back, wasn't it? Yeah, which will be back at full HP now. So yeah, that is a problem for us. Ooh, and Yveltal is going to be going down this turn. Yeah, this is going to be a problem for us. I don't think we can beat the Amoonguss, and I think that was always going to be a problem with the 4 that we brought, which is one of the fundamental problems of the team. So I need to try and target into this Stack Attacker, I think, just because it is the biggest threat for Xerneas. Kyogre withdraws, so if this combination knocks out the Stack Attacker, he can't protect, it's daunted, and that'd be fantastic. Leaf Storm, yeah, we have got the Wide Lens, so there's only a 1% chance that we miss. I'm pretty sure Foul Play does more damage than Knockoff, but, ooh, yeah, we just missed the knockout there, unfortunately. I kind of expected that. Yeah, Foul Play is more powerful. Stack Attacker's got a higher attack stat than the the Evolta that we're using. He can't Rage Powder my Leaf Storm. He can't Protect, and he's only got Kyogre as a switch in, so a Leaf Storm into that left-hand slot is very free. Does a Dazzling Gleam knock Stack Attacker out from here? No, it won't. Just because if I taunt the Amoonguss, he can't Spore me, which is obviously very good. Do I protect the Xerneas and Leaf Storm the Stack Attacker then? Yeah, I think that seems reasonable. It just feels like it's probably. And worst case scenario, it's got Sludge Bomb or even Clear Smog into my Superior. I just feel like it's really obvious that I protect my Xerneas here, but I'm gonna do it. I feel like this is obvious, but it's a free Leaf Storm. We do know the Kyogre has got Protect as well. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was just so obvious, wasn't it? That was such a nice play. He predicted that really nicely. I could have Geomancied up there. If I had, and okay, like we know that he could have Clear Smog me the next turn, but at least I would have had a turn to attack next turn. Okay, so I'm going to taunt the Amoonguss here. I expect he is going to Clear Smog into my Xerneas. I think he'll protect the Kyogre, but he might not. So I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. Just because I hope that Dazzling Gleam will put Superior out of Water Spout range. But I think he'll protect the Kyogre. If he doesn't, I could double into it with a Leaf Storm and whatever. Yeah, so he does protect the Kyogre. So now, does a Clear Smog knock out my Superior? Because he just needs to knock out the Superior and he's in a much better position. Clear Smog's into, yeah, it is a Superior. He's wise, and he does knock it out. Ooh, okay. I should have paid attention to the damage to turn before. I didn't expect that to knock it out. And now I can just Rage Powder and Water Spout and do all the rest of it too. So that is frustrating, but it does highlight why yesterday went so badly. I hardly played any Amoonguss yesterday, but yeah, I mean, at least that was a decent game. But yeah, it definitely highlights how Amoonguss is really, really bad for me. And Trick Room, you know, it was the Colbur Berry as well. Without that Colbur Berry, we would have been fine. We would have been absolutely fine. The Trick Room was the death of the team, really, wasn't it? But we'll look for another game. We will do one more, and we can see if we can actually paint the team in a slightly better light. But yeah, these are the funny things that screw the team over. Music, please. Again, trying to press my DSs as lightly as possible. Else the capture card will just stop working. But yeah, I mean, I expected Electric Seed because when you see Lunala and Coco together, Electric Seed is very common. Colbur Berry, yeah, Mental Herb. They're those sort of fringe items that really screw you over. But Encore VGC with a very high rating, 17, 18. With another Stack Attacker. But there's no Amoonguss, at least, on this team. So yeah, hopefully this is going to be an interesting game. I feel more comfortable going into this. Stack Attacker could be an issue again, though. So I think I'll lead with Superior and Yveltal again. I really like the lead of Superior and Yveltal. We definitely want Xerneas in this one. And not much of a need for Raichu. Although both of his restricted Pokemon are weak to Electric. and we are faster than Katana as well. Amoonguss would be some insurance in Trick Room. So just because this guy hasn't got a Coco, I am going to go with Amoonguss in this game. I think Amoonguss can do some business for us. But I'm very aware that Katana is going to be an issue for us now. This is the problem with Blaziken. This is why Blaziken is the sort of slot on this team that I'm not really convinced with. Because I do need something for Katana there. But against Kyogre, which is so common, I can't really bring Blaziken very often. So, yeah, I mean, would Talonflame, if I put Talonflame there, be any different? Not sure. And he actually just leads straight away with the Katana. So let's look at the abilities. Let's see if it's a Scarfed Lele or not. So, nope, it isn't. Dark Aura. Psychic Terrain. So now, does he double my Superior? Or does he just get rid of the Yveltal? Because it is an issue for him. So I am going to glare the Katana here. And I'm going to... It could be a Sash Lele. I'm just going to knock off the Lele. If he's got Sash, it'll survive. I'm expecting that at this point. Especially because he's just left it in. If it's really bulky, it'll survive this knockoff. But no, she's gone for a knockoff into my Superior. Dark Aura boosted, which is why it did so much damage. And knock off into the lay. Yeah, it is a Focus Sash, as I expected. And it's like, so he does double into the Superior. So his Kyogre has got much more free reign now, but the paralysis on the Katana is fantastic for us, just because I know that it was a big threat, that Katana. And now we're in a wonderful position where we can just basically Dazzle and Gleam, because we know that we're faster than the Lele, and foul play into the Katana. The Katana, because it's not Focus Sashed, is probably Assault Vested. And so the combination of Dazzle and Gleam and foul play should knock the Katana out. It can't protect. Worst case scenario, what, he protects the Lele and brings in something else? No, but in theory, hopefully we should be getting 2 knockouts here. We are Black Glasses boosted. That is a Katana. Yep. And Dark Aura boosted, of course. So, yeah, 2 knockouts. So, he had Kyogre and Yveltal, was it? Stack Attacker. Ooh. And Kyogre, I would imagine, yeah. Because he targeted the Superior very aggressively, turn 1. Okay, so we have got Amoonguss in the back. Which unless we get flinched to death, could save us here. Stack Attacker. Yeah, I know Jamie was going on all the time about how Stack Attacker was a pain for his team. I never felt it to be much of an issue, but we have just lost to a Stack Attacker in the previous game. And this one is... And I can see why he didn't bring his Yveltal, because I've got Xerneas, but this one is going to give us some issues, isn't it? Okay, so I have to foul play into the Stack Attacker. And the difference between the Dazzling Gleam or a Moonblast for damage on the Stack Attacker is really irrelevant. Maybe we should be knocking off the Stack Attacker just because we don't know if it's Goggles or not, which it probably is. Yeah, I should have gone for a knockoff there, actually. But I went for the Dazzling Gleam just because if he didn't protect the Kyogre, which he hasn't, at least I'm getting some damage on the Kyogre there. But yeah, okay, I should have gone for a knockoff there, because obviously I'm not going to knock it out with those 2 attacks. And knock off less damage, but he wouldn't have had the option of... the potential to have the safety goggles there. Or a 50% berry, which they could have. So you got to imagine he goes for Origin Pulse, Rock Slide. So Yveltal is going to be the key to winning this game, I think. Xerneas isn't really that important, so I am just going to go for a Moonblast. Hope we dodge some attacks. Protect the Yveltal, because then we'll get a free switch into Amoonguss, which hopefully will be able to help us out here. So actually Gyro Balls there. And Xerneas. Moonblasts into the Kyogre. That's a Scarf Kyogre. Okay. Well, I'm glad I made that move then. So that's a Scarf Kyogre locked into Origin Pulse. So Amoonguss, this Amoonguss has not got Grass Knot on it. So we need Yveltal to knock out Stack Attacker, else we have just lost the game. You would imagine it goes for a Rock Slide here to fish for flinches. So there's no point in Rage Powdering, I don't think. So I am going to Spore into the Kyogre, and I am going to Knock Off this time into the Stack Attacker. I don't think it's in Foul Play range, but yeah, we need to not flinch now. So we get the Spore off. If we get this Knock Off, we're in a okay position. We'll have to see how many turns of Psychic Terrain are left as well too. Okay, we get the Knock Off, good. And it does actually knock the Stack Attacker out. Wow, I did not expect that. And it was the Goggles. Brilliant, okay. And Kyogre stays asleep after the Yveltal moved. So now we are using his Trick Room. So yeah, we know it's locked into, we know it's Scarf. We know everything about this Kyogre now. He's lost his Psychic Terrain, so just for the hell of it, let's show Sucker Punch. Every time I saw my Yveltal yesterday, that Sigrid song, Sucker Punch, came into my head. So, but anyway, so there you go. We finally get a win against the highest rated player that we've had. And that's just really a brilliant example of this team, because, and maybe somewhat the format at large, just because it's kind of matchup based, isn't it? I mean, that's such a cop-out kind of thing to say, isn't it? That, or such a matchup-based thing. But like that second game, I think we got like a very quick game first, didn't we? The game with the Colbert Berry Lunala, that was really almost absolute worst-case scenario that this team could play against. With the Amoonguss there as well, I know that this team's weak to Amoonguss. We pulled it quite close, didn't we? It was that turn where he called very nicely not to try and do anything into the Xerneas as I protected, looking like a lemon there sitting there, and clear Smog into the Superior there, which did probably give him the game there. But yeah, that last game, that high rating obviously knows what he's doing, and we won that game because maybe like I said on Team Preview, I felt more comfortable in the Team Preview, and the Stack Attacker again is giving us some issues because he did successfully get the Trick Room off there, and we couldn't really stop that. But I don't know. It's interesting to analyze a team like that and everything and stuff, isn't it? So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and record some more for this week as well, and all depending on the capture card. It stayed working for now. I'm literally sitting as still as possible as to not vibrate the floor and move the capture card. But anyway, so we'll see you at some point in the future. The NBL semi-final will be coming up next week, but if nothing else, hopefully I'll see you sooner though. So bye for now.